Hey guys, how's it going? Ghostly Rich here today, and today we're going to be trying out these headlights that I seen on Amazon. There'll be a link in the description. I'll put the name of them in the title, and what we're going to be doing is trying them out. As you can see, they look kind of like the JL headlight. They've got the low beam in the center, high beam on the outside, and then they've got an LED ring around it like a halo, or that's what it is called. So you can do that. You can choose to use these adapters. I hate them because they never end up sealing and then they corrode. So I've actually switched all of my pins to a waterproof one. Now, I'll show you what I'll be doing. You probably won't be doing this connector, but just something to be aware of. The other thing to be aware of is if you live in Canada like I do, you have your built-in DRL. If you do not want to have the problems with your DRL, you do need a programmer. I'm going to be teaching you guys another really cool thing today. With these headlights, and if you want to use the halo, as it's called, you'll notice that on the back of them, let's see if I can flip one, they have that DRL wire. Now, with my wiring harness that I've been telling you about, I've put in a 4-point Deutsche connector, so that way my connector is completely waterproof, because these connectors suck. They rust, they corrode, you start getting headlight flickering. It just turns into a giant nightmare due to ground issues and power issues. I highly suggest, if you haven't picked one of these up yet, the Super Chips F5, go and get one. Like seriously, I know it's $300, but there's so many cool features and it saves you time. I'm going to quickly show you just how easy it is for you to do your DRL. Once you've plugged this thing in, we're going to hit options as soon as it loads. All it does is it goes right into your OBD2. You press OK. It tells you to put your ignition on. We come over here, put our ignition on. It gives us a whole bunch of beepy hellos. And then next thing we're going to do is press OK. It's going to establish connection. You have running options, but vehicle settings. So as you can see, this thing allows you to adjust your gear ratio, because if you're lifted, you're probably going to do your gears at some point. You can do tire size, transfer case, low, TPMS, warning threshold. I would actually end up turning, well, you can leave your TPS on if you'd like. But if it ever fails, because actually my Jeep's is only 5 years old and it's failed, rather than changing the module, you can actually just turn it off. Anyways, let's go ahead. You can go here, DRL location. See how it says high beams? That's a big problem, because that means that it's going to turn your high beams on as a DRL. You don't want that. Let's go down here and switch it to our turn signals. Now, I'll tell you exactly why. If you do this, then we can grab off our parking brake the DRL. And what it'll do is it'll not only cause your turn signals or your parking lights to be the thing that controls your halos, but it also makes them the turn signal. So if you turn on your turn signal, your halo will actually flash. It's pretty cool. I like to go off of that. You can go off your fog lights if you want to have your fog lights on all the time and you don't want it to flash and all that other fun stuff. Or if you bought different headlights that have a DRL and a turn signal flash, you can wire one to the turn signal and then change the DRL location to the fogs. So the fogs will keep the halo running all the time, and then the turn signal will activate the other one. Again, DRL location for me is always turn signals, because it's so easy to grab the wire. Because what we're going to be doing is taking off the front grille, and the turn signal wires are right there, and I'm going to show you the wire colors. So like I said, highly suggest buying one of these. After you press OK on it, it's going to write it. See, DRL updated, and that's it. Now we can go ahead, turn this off, and disconnect this, and let's go and install these lights. I just wanted to show you why you need this. Next thing, after you pop your hood, go ahead, slip this in like that, start it off, and then you can slip this in there, slip these out just like that. Go ahead, do that to all of them along the grill. By the way, if you don't have one of these tools either, they're super cheap and they help you pop all sorts of clips without breaking them, which is very handy for the Jeep. All right, well, only one left. Let's just get it out and then I can show you how to take care of the rest of this. So after we've done this, depending on how long these have sat here, the centers will come out. Put them on your fender. Just like that. Go ahead. See, the other thing you can do is just leave them in there if they stay. And I'll show you another trick for popping them out after. So now that we've gone ahead, gotten them all out, go ahead, flex this up. Flex it up, pull them all out. For me, this is a little bit more fun because I have a winch, so I have to work around that. Now, one thing I don't have is an inner fender right now, so I can go here. These are actually my turn signal parking lights, and this is actually where we're going to solder our wires off of after. But if you have an aftermarket bumper, you'll be able to reach up in here and probably disconnect this. Now, if you can't, all you do is you grab this first and you move this out of your way so you don't blow up your Jeep. No. And then you just grab down here and pop forward. Just like that. Now you can get your hand in there through here, slide the red tab back if you can with your finger. Just goes like this, just like that, and then flex and slip out. Do the same thing to the other side. Once you've gone ahead and done that, you'll be able to lift that right out. Just be careful of this. Hey, why not clean out some leaves while we're in here? Weren't you on leaf cleaning duty? Nah, she's sleeping on the job. All right, so again, take a Torx, take out all 4 of these bolts. Let's slip this whole... Once you do these 4 bolts though, the light will fall out. So have your hand there ready to catch your light, otherwise it'll fall and blow up. When you pop out your headlight, yours is going to be a little bit different than mine. And the reason why is because I've added in this right here. I put on the waterproof Deutsche connectors because trust me when I say those will fail. It's not if, it's when. And then you'll either lose both your headlights or one headlight. If you're lucky, just one. So if you take a look at this, you'll see that on the diagram, this is ground, this is low beam, and this is high beam. Now, why do you need to know this? The reason why is because if you don't have a programmer, from which I just am about to show you, what you're going to end up needing to do is taking the harness from right here, and you need to swap the low beam to high beam. So you have to cut and resolder these two. You can try to use a pinout tool and change the pins. Again, I wouldn't. To tell you the truth, I'd be buying Deutsche connectors like I just showed you here. And the reason why I'm saying the Deutsche connector is because it's waterproof and you won't fail. And then you can actually just swap it when you're soldering on a Deutsche connector. I have a whole nother video on soldering on Deutsche connectors. I'm going to show you the headlight end, and then you would repeat that to this end, but I highly suggest you go watch that video rather than this one. So if you'd like, what you can do is go ahead, plug this into there, and then plug it into your vehicle. I would test the headlight. If you notice that when you flip your low beam on, that your low beam isn't actually flipping on your low beam, then what you'll need to do is go and swap that out by taking this blue and this white wire, and you need to cut and then solder the blue to the white and then the white to the blue, and then that'll reverse your low and your high beam so it's on the right track. Now, I would suggest using the programmer and fixing it that way, but it's completely up to you. Now, again, as I said, I would be done with that connector. I would buy the Deutsche connectors. If you're interested in doing so and seeing this portion of how to wire the Deutsche connector, I'm going to put this in the description. It'll be way easier for you to go and follow that than me take up a bunch of time in this video showing you how to wire a Deutsche connector. So go right to the description and you can see the link to the video in there if you want to make a waterproof connection. Your box of goodies, they give you an extension wire. What you should do with this is when you have this open, feed the wire down here, throw it in some lume if you'd like. So on this connector for your turn signal, you want to solder onto, so you can use your DRL, especially if you're going to program it, the white with a pink stripe on the passenger side, and on the driver's side, it's white with a gray stripe. Now, just in case it's some of their color on your Jeep for some reason. See this red safety clip? It's the wire that's directly above it. You can see the black is the ground. It's on the opposite side. And then what you do is you plug that into your DRL, which is on there. I would probably cut it to length a little bit because, so you might want to see how much you actually need before soldering it, and then just leaving a little bit extra wrapped up so that way if you ever change your headlights you can use it. If you take a look at this, and there's another guide right there, you'll see there's 3 guides on here. Make sure that when you slide this back it goes into the 3 guides. Take your silver ring, put it over top and tie them in. Make sure you have your silver ring in the right direction. It'll only go on in one. As you see, these 2 are closer, these 2 are farther apart. As you can see, these 2 are closer, these 2 are farther apart. So make sure it goes just like that. I had heard when you buy these headlights, you have to modify the housing a tiny bit. Something I don't mind doing, which is just cleaning this up with a side cutter. As you can see, right here, this is that notch from which I told you is an alignment notch. Unless you do that, it won't seat fully back and it'll cause your headlight to face the ground. You need to make sure that you trim that out just a little bit with a pair of side cutters. And like I said, it's very simple. Cut and then flip it over, cut and then cut right here. And then you should be able to wiggle that part out and wiggle that part out. Clean it up if you want with a little bit of a file, if you have some fine files. Wow, those actually look pretty darn cool. So that's the new one. That's the old one. Work it around here. You can see right there. Make sure you work it around that sensor as it comes down because that's for your temperature, I believe. Like I said, once you get to here, click these back on and slide the red back in. Do the same to both sides. After that, sink in the bottom first. I like to do that. Leave it up to you, but then once we get here, see how it fits, just like that. Now that that's in, slip these bad boys in just like this. And then after you get the collar back in, you might have to pop these out just like that. Sink them in. Those ones with just the sheath, just put them in and then slide the pin in the center. Then after you're done, it's time to drive off into the sunset with your new headlights. Take a look at that. So if you're wondering how they look once you've gone in and done that, there you go. So as long as you know the modifications you need to make on the housing and to be able to remove that DRL or to move it, I think you'll have fun with these lights. Again, I can set up the camera here and let's show you what they look like. Is your DRL. If you set it up like I did. This is your low beam. And last but not least, this is your high beam. Pretty crazy. No lights. That's your DRL, low beam, high beam. You can see it's very effective. We'll go back down to low beam, turn signal. Actually, let's turn the low beams right off so you can see the turn signal. See? You can see that our halo is working with the turn signals. Well, there you go. That's a quick look at it. I really, really like these headlights. They're different from all the other ones that I've seen on the market. And they remind me a lot of the new JL headlights for the premium Rubicon style models. So, gotta say, I really like them. Either way, hope this video helped you out. Press a little like if it did. Subscribe for more.